This is Plant-Based Briefing, Gen Z in China, Driving Sustainable Protein Adoption by Aeneas Koosis at faunalytics.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this curated-content plant-based podcast, where I narrate articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I'm pleased to have permission from Faunalytics to share their content. So now let's get to today's Plant-Based Briefing. Gen Z in China, Driving Sustainable Protein Adoption. Summary by Aeneas Koosis. Original study by ProVeg China, published September 6, 2024. China's Generation Z has a growing interest in plant-based and cultivated meats, with health and animal welfare as key motivators. China's Generation Z, born between 1995 and 2010, population is around 264 million and is about to become a major force in shaping the country's future food landscape. A recent survey by ProVeg China explored the attitudes of this demographic towards sustainable proteins, revealing promising trends for the alternative protein industry. The survey sampled 1,024 Gen Z consumers aged 19 to 28 in Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. The sample included both employed and unemployed students and graduates, all who had obtained a college degree or higher. The gender split was fairly even. The questionnaire was designed to evaluate sustainable proteins across three aspects: market recognition, purchase intention, and price perception, providing a comprehensive view of Gen Z's attitudes towards these emerging food products in China's urban centers. A notable finding showed that 19% of respondents identified as flexitarian, consuming plant-based meals several times a week. This figure aligns closely with similar data from the U.S., where 24% of Gen Z consumers follow flexitarian diets. Awareness of plant-based meat was high among Chinese Gen Z, with 65% familiar with these products. Of those aware, 43% had consumed plant-based meat in the past year, demonstrating a strong association between awareness and consumption rates. Overall, 32% of respondents expressed willingness to purchase plant-based meat, with higher rates among those who had previously tried such products. The survey revealed that health, safety, nutrition, and affordability were the primary factors driving Gen Z's interest in plant-based and cultivated meat. Animal welfare ranked fifth as a motivator, closely followed by environmental concerns. The authors suggest that this prioritization of animal welfare may be linked to the increasing number of young pet owners in China and their growing concern for animal well-being. Cultivated meat, while less familiar to respondents with 18% awareness, shows potential for market growth. After being introduced to the concept, 20% of Gen Z respondents indicated a willingness to purchase cultivated meat products. This suggests that increased education and awareness could drive future demand. In terms of price perceptions, the survey found that Gen Z consumers expect both plant-based and cultivated meats to be priced higher than conventional meat. For plant-based meat, the optimal price range was between 17.9 and 30.5 won, or 2.5 and 4.1 euros per 500 grams, with 22.1 won, or 2.6 euros, as the ideal price point. Based on these findings, ProVeg recommends focusing on highly educated groups and prioritizing marketing efforts in Shanghai and Beijing, where acceptance of novel foods is higher. The authors also suggest investing in consumer education to promote the benefits of sustainable proteins, particularly focusing on health, food safety, and animal welfare. Additionally, they argue that efforts should be made to reduce production costs in order to achieve price parity with conventional meat. The future of sustainable proteins in China looks promising, with government support signaled through recent policy statements. President Xi Jinping has highlighted the importance of alternative proteins in ensuring food security, and the inclusion of alternative proteins in China's 5-year plan further underscores this commitment. As China's Gen Z becomes more health-conscious and environmentally aware, they are likely to drive significant changes in the country's meat industry. This shift towards sustainable proteins could have far-reaching implications for global food systems, potentially making them greener, safer, and more ethical. You just listened to Gen Z in China, Driving Sustainable Protein Adoption by Aeneas Koosis at faunalytics.org, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson. I've done a number of other episodes on alt proteins, which include plant-based meats, cultivated meats, and fermentation, and a couple episodes about Gen Z in particular. 280, Is it embarrassing to order dairy milk at a coffee shop? Gen Z thinks so, by Maxwell Rabb, and 561, Why Gen Z is Going Plant-Based Faster Than Older Generations, by Karen Asp at Sentient. So check those out, and I will link them in the show notes. And please share this episode with anyone who might benefit. And thanks for listening.